Hi, welcome to another episode. So I decided to pull over. I'm in the middle of a shift right now. I'm uh, working right now, but I wanted to take some time and just talk about something that has been, kind of bothering me a little bit. So, um, you know, we live in a society right now where where I think that, and it's not that I think I know, and I'm sure that anybody that's watching this right now can at least somewhat agree with me that the emotional intelligence, especially in this country, is the lowest it's ever been. And I'm not necessarily saying that we've ever really been a place where everybody was cool with each other or in harmony with one another, because we've been in such a fear-based society from the beginning. But I think even now, especially with social media and these touch touch screen phones, that people, not only are people the most divided that they've ever been, but people are also like the meanest to each other that they've ever been. And I want to talk about this in terms of political affiliations, because that's still a very heavy topic right now. I think largely our mainstream news and social media outlets, platforms are largely dominated by the political arena. So there's a huge divide going on between the right and the left, right? Obviously, as we know. And I've probably mentioned this before a few times in a few other videos, but I'm not involved in any way, shape, or form in politics anymore. I didn't vote at all last year. I don't trust the current political system that we have. I have little to no trust in it. So now I lean very apolitical, very much the way that I was from, I want to say 2013, which is the year after the, sorry, that's work, which is the year after the Obama v. Romney election. And I think after that, I just checked out for, how long was it? Like 7 years. So it was 2013 until 2020. So yeah, around 7 years. I just didn't care anymore. I didn't really see the point in voting or being in support of any political party or any politician. And then from 2020 until 24, I was very heavy into it. I was very much a staunch conservative. I was a supporter of Trump. But going back to this divide that's going on between the right and the left, there's a lot of just this mean-spirited attitude that people have right now, regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. And the reason why I wanted to jump on here and talk about this while I have a little bit more time is that there are a lot of people talking about how the Trump administration, and I don't know this to be true, for those of you guys that are still MAGA supporters, you probably know this a lot more than I do, but there's speculation going around that the Trump administration is about to drop Elon Musk, right, because of his obvious, you know, I mean the guy, he's a really smart guy. I mean, I don't support him. I don't believe in what he stands for. But, you know, so obviously he's got some social issues, right? Like, if you guys have ever heard him speak, or if you've heard him in interviews or on Joe Rogan's podcast, you know, the guy has, you know, some form of autism, right? You know, he might have Asperger's. If autism is even a real thing, who the hell knows? But, you know, people, you know, on the right and the left are making fun of him for that. But especially people on the left, because people on the left fucking hate this guy's guts. And, you know, I was hearing it from somebody, I'm not going to mention who it is on here, but, you know, someone who was like, just, you know, just being like really mean and grotesque about, you know, like, and I'm not saying this because this, you know, this, whoever it was that told me this was is a bad person, but, you know, just doing it in a very grotesque manner, right? Like, making fun of him for the way that he speaks or the way that he looks. And, you know, I just, you know, it's not just this person that I'm referring to, but it's a lot of people right now. And I think that honestly it's really disgusting to do that just because you don't agree with somebody's political beliefs or somebody's lifestyle. Even if you don't agree with it, even if that's something that you would never do or believe in, I still wholeheartedly believe that you should still show kindness and respect to that person, no matter what. And I think that that's something that we've completely lost in this country, is mutual kindness and respect. You shouldn't poke fun at people or talk about their appearance or make fun of them for the way that they talk or the way that they carry themselves, the way that they communicate, just because you don't agree with what they stand for. That's not right. I think that regardless of what you believe in or what you stand for or who you support, everybody should just try to, I mean, it really isn't that hard to be kind, to be kind and respectful towards somebody, right? But I think that the reason why so many people have such a hard time with that is because so many people are so unaware and unconscious of how broken they are, and so they then project that onto other people, even people they don't know or people that they've never met. So just so we're clear, this isn't a pro-Elon video. This isn't a pro-conservative. Again, I don't lean one way or the other anymore. If anything, I'm a libertarian. But, you know, like, let's just all be, like, try to be cool with each other, you know, and if you can't, you know, that's okay too. But just know that, you know, it's because of something that you're dealing with or something that you need to pay more attention to. It has very little to do with the person that you're mean towards or that you're making comments about. So anyway, I gotta get going. I gotta pick this person up, but I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you, and I will see you again in the next video.